Good day, everyone. Just give me 1 second here. Seems like we just have a low battery on one of the cameras that I forgot about.
Hey guys, what's up?
Okay. As I was saying, welcome everyone. This is the Off Key podcast hosted and presented by Severo Music Studios. Thank you very much for joining us once again. This is episode 3, and you probably would have noticed within the last couple of episodes I've actually been talking to a couple of guitarists that I admire, and today is actually no different. I have an excellent guitarist, a real shredder, and a legend of O. This is Mr. Rudy, aka the Blacksmith.
Hey Sevi, thanks man. Really honored to be here. Hey everybody.
So actually, that's the reason why I say it's going to be an hour. I also feel quite overwhelmed because it's been almost about 3 years. You've been here before.
Been here before? It's been 3 years.
It's been roughly 3 years. For those of you who are a fan of Severo Music Studios, the YouTube channel, then let me give you just a short backstory that the first ever official episode that I did that's called Out and About, where I'm not doing stuff here in studio but instead going out and just meeting strangers on the street or wherever. I ventured first to the waterfront, which is famous for buskers, and himself, the Blacksmith, and the group Joy and the Blacksmith were actually the very first people I met officially, you know, with my out and about.
That was such a great day, man. I mean, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, and here we're sitting today.
Here we are. I still have long hair and everything, and
we're gonna get to that as well, right? If you wouldn't mind. Cheers to everyone. It's just
cheers, guys.
Apple juice.
Just apple juice, of course.
With a bit of citrus, you know. And I've been following the Blacksmith and Alana Joy, you know, ever since. Actually, to be honest, you are probably the guys I follow the most. You know.
I'm honored.
No,
thanks,
honestly,
man.
no, because I mean, how many episodes were you guys actually featured in my, I think probably about 5. Nobody else has featured that many times.
That's true. But from the get-go, it was just
chemistry. This guy, you know, when I interviewed him at first, it's kind of like he is now. He didn't actually like say too much. Just 1 second, everyone. One second. If everyone's still alive, we're still here. Maybe lose connection.
I think we're still live, yeah. There's people still commenting.
What's up, Jason?
Jason and Colin.
Colin, all the way from Josie. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now experiencing some technical difficulties, but we will be right back shortly.
So, can they see the screen or not? Because if they can, then let's swap to Rudy roll.
No, I think it's just an overall issue. There we go. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So sorry about that.
It wouldn't be normal if there wasn't a problem. You know?
Yeah, that's showbiz for you.
Something always has to happen.
But let's just get into something. Probably something I didn't ask previously is, where did the passion for guitar start?
Whew.
And also, because lately I've been talking to mainly electric guitarists, and you are also just one of them.
Yeah.
So tell us the appeal.
Look, for me it was probably when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and my uncle gave me this cassette with Pink Floyd's The Wall on it.
Right.
And I was listening to this and I was like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that instrument is, and I love the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just grew from there, from bands like ZZ Top.
Yes.
AC/DC.
Oh.
Yeah, I was rocking out to AC/DC when I was like 8 years old, and took the tape to school, and
yes,
everybody was listening to, you know, these beautiful little children carols and all those kind of things.
Right.
And I was like, I don't like that, but listen to AC/DC, man. you
Yeah.
know. So it's from there. And then I've always wanted to learn to play guitar. My grandmother said to me, no, you can't play guitar, so you're going to go horse riding. I was like,
Horse riding.
she was an amazing pianist, but somehow she just said, you are not going to go into the music thing.
Well, piano, classical horse riding, that goes with that kind of lifestyle.
I think that's basically what happened there.
Okay, and how did the horse riding thing go?
Yeah, it went fine until the horse threw me off about 3 times in a row, and I was like, no, this is not for me, man.
And how did you eventually get everyone to submit to you playing the guitar?
I was 16 when my dad gave me my first nylon string.
Mm-hmm. So you started on nylon string, like
I
most.
started the nylon string, and from there it just pulled up.
Okay.
And then eventually I went to study music, and then they surprised me for my birthday with my first electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, man. I was hooked.
So just name us again, just some of the groups that you always wind up listening to, that you just can't help listening to all the time.
Look, I would say my biggest influence as a guitarist would be a guy called Chris Oliver.
Okay.
That played for a band called Savatage.
Okay.
And it's a very tragic story. The guy died when he was 32 years old in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
One of the world's most underrated guitarists to me personally.
Right.
And so Savatage, Pink Floyd, that's
Yes.
always my go-tos, you know.
Yeah.
The old school glam rock, if you want to put it that way. The
Glam
more
rock,
the
yes.
more the guitar screams,
Right.
the more I like it.
Now, for people that don't know, we all probably know that Michael Jackson has, the biggest selling album of all time, in history. But if who is always number 2, if you go look at history, is Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And people don't know of the glam rock era.
No, look, Pink Floyd, they wrote the album The Dark Side of the Moon. That was number 1 for many, many years. Top selling album of all time.
Yep.
Until Thriller came out for Michael Jackson.
Exactly. Now, for those of you who still don't know what we're talking about, if you know what was his signature again, it was the Rainbow Through the Glass.
Yeah. You had that was the Dark Side of the Moon album. You had what do you call it?
I can't remember what you call that
man,
effect.
it's,
Yeah. But I'm sure if everyone Googles it, Pink Floyd, and everything that's associated with it, you'd be very familiar. For me, for rock, I've got to agree that the guys who were the first pioneers are definitely my favorite. Top of it being AC/DC, right?
Oh,
Because they just bring that rock, that heavy metal rock that we're all familiar with, that sort of sound,
Oh, of course.
When someone makes an intro, we have to have that power chord. Like that E minor, boom.
I mean, that intro for Thunderstruck.
Yes.
It's still. Once
Once
you hear that, you're hooked. You're like, okay, rock on,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Now, yeah, it would definitely be that Def Leppard,
Oh,
the
yeah.
classic guys. But I found that when it came to more modern rock, particularly maybe the early 2000s, I didn't think about this until about a few years ago, that I was very drawn to not exactly always girl groups, but at least the girls were the frontmen of these groups. I'm talking about like Evanescence.
Evanescence, of course.
Who can't forget that? I remember that's actually one CD. I remember going to the shop and buying that what was the album called?
The first one,
It wasn't.
Immortals.
Was that-
No, man.
That was the one that everyone likes.
Guys, I'm very sorry. Yeah.
But the album with Immortal on it,
Yeah.
that's the one we're talking
Look,
about.
the first time I heard Evanescence was in the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck
Yes.
and everything, and
What a fail of a movie, but
we don't talk about that. But I immediately went and bought the soundtrack,
yeah.
and that was awesome.
Now I remember, and if everyone remembers, I think they're a British group or a duo called Tattoo.
Yeah, no, I mean those goals.
Yeah. Then Avril Lavigne came on, Pink, when they came out with the early stuff. Who wasn't drawn to it? But
Avril Lavigne especially, but let's not go
Yes.
into too much detail. I don't know who's watching.
yeah, you don't want to scare any other fans. But let's just actually go to people who are interactive right here. Jason Voss from The Guys Alive, your band.
Hey, Fossey, how you doing, my man? Thanks for tuning in.
Mr. Colin Creel.
Colin is one of my oldest friends all the way from Joburg.
Steve Jones.
Rock on, guys. Mr. Jones, my personal mentor and good friend.
Sam,
Hi, Dad.
Sam Govender.
Hey, Sam, my future sister-in-law.
Right, and Mona Hubert.
That would be my mom. Hey, mom, what's up?
Yeah,
She's
that's
still my
awesome.
biggest fan and my biggest supporter.
Yeah, all of you probably claim to be his biggest fan, but all of you are calling him by his first name. That is unacceptable. It's only Jason who's calling you Blacksmith.
Yeah, look, the Blacksmith story.
Yeah. But we'll get to that. Now, let's just go way back.
All right.
Because I only heard a brief of this story.
Okay.
Right? If you don't mind talking about it.
No, bring it.
That when you were still with the group, A Joy in the Blacksmith,
Mhm.
you guys were actually due to be here, right?
Yeah.
One time. And when I met y'all, you had this Michael Bolton long hair thing going on. Not the mullet, but I mean the sort of nice and puffy on the sides, just curling over so majestically. And then when you came here for the session here, all of a sudden you got this
Oh,
haircut.
it's gone. Yeah.
Right. Now let's just get the story behind that, if you don't mind. What exactly happened there?
Oh, man.
Some of you guys remember roughly 3 to 5 years ago, this guy had long hair.
Look, I used to love the long hair. I still have dreams about it. There's still mornings where I wake up and I go, shake
Where
the
is
head
it?
and
Yeah.
run my fingers through it, and I'm like, oh, wait, that was just a dream. Yeah, you go through changes in life and things happen, and all I'm going to say is I kind of broke up a bar fight, and I got hit on the head with a aluminium coaster holder. Had to get 8 stitches in the back of my head,
Yeah.
and that left a bit of a patch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yet the following night.
yet the following night we rocked out.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, that is just about the brief that I heard, so I won't go any further detail into it of how the fight and that started. But
No,
basically, the guy broke up a fight, and in the middle of it, he encountered someone who had an object that evidently had him cut on the head, and he had to go for stitches. And obviously, having a little patch like that in your head while having long hair is not a great look.
No,
so
no. And now getting older and everything, the hair is thinning out and falling out slowly. Maybe it's stress. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, when we met, I only started growing my hair, and yeah, seems like we swapped roles right now.
no, we did. But that's now Jason Voss has the long hair now, and I've got the short hair. When back in the day it was the opposite way. So
Oh, okay. I also I remember Jason just with the growing, it's still growing. Yeah.
But I must say your hair is looking great, man.
Okay, you can stop flattering now. It's not going to get you any brownie points, man.
I'm still gonna do it. I can't help it.
Now, let's just talk about what it's like being in a band in a lot of different aspects, right? Now, your band.
The guy's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. Or the most powerful feeling of freedom that I've ever had. Jason and I met, we started jamming together, and then the band grew.
So it's you and Jason that started it.
That was Jason and myself. I mean, he used to come to the bar where I worked, and there was always a guitar behind the bar, and then he brought his guitar in, and we just started messing around, and people enjoyed it. And then we did an open mic night, and then eventually I saw an ad for a drummer that's looking for a band to play with, and he said, hey, let's try it out. And that went well, and then we did an open mic night, and then we met Alana.
Mm-hmm.
And then we said, let's do a collaboration. And it just grew from there. We got the bassist on board, Ricardo, and then we got Vinny on board as the drummer. And it was just a family. It was beautiful. We had our fights, we had our dramas, we had our issues, but we always had each other's backs. And we were always there for each other no matter what.
Now, what does it take to actually keep a band together?
Lots of tequila.
Oh man, bless the internet. We can say whatever we want.
Exactly.
No, but it's I get what you're saying, that everyone needs to kind of be in the same mindset. So at least alcohol is one way to keep everyone in the same state of mind.
Look, man, what I can tell you is, it's hard. We were a 6-piece band. Had 6 people with jobs, and you're all passionate about this project, and you want to make this something unique and something special. And I mean, there was a time during 2017 where we were playing anything between 3 and 6 gigs a week. So we were very busy. The band was popular. We did very well. But it's difficult for 6 people with a day job, some people working nights as well, to try and get together and create. And then it just takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of passion.
Yeah.
But if you believe in it, you can do it.
It's a lot of commitment. And I can speak as someone who, attempted through the years, keeping bands and that together, that for everyone there are people that are really good at certain something, but for other people it's their passion. Now you gotta know who's who, you know. Someone who happens to play the guitar very well, but not really their passion, not wanting to, reach for the stars or whatever. You can't expect them to be committed in a band, So it takes commitment from everyone. You gotta have everyone in the mindset and motivated. As rehearsal times, working around everyone. Everyone has their own commitments. For people, maybe they have their own day job, which there's so many other things, and that some are willing to dive in less than others, and some more than others.
I remember there was a point where I was doing 3 different jobs and the band on top of it.
Right.
And
how was that for you?
No, that was chaos. That was, if I got 5 hours sleep a night or 4 hours sleep a night, that would have been a lot. And the rest of the time, it's literally, I had a day job selling advertising space for magazines. So I was doing that during the day. And then at night, I would be behind the bar, do the band thing, and then I did an online thing for a Bitcoin company as well.
Right.
And yeah, it was draining, man. It was.
Yeah. But I see also actually another job you have there is a young gentleman behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, goes by the name of Ethan, who is actually the Blacksmith student.
My first student ever, and this kid is amazing, man. He's inspired me to practice harder, to play more, to remember things that I forgot throughout the years,
Yeah.
So I started a company called Hammer and Tongs Guitar.
So this is actually something you started, okay.
Well, thanks to Ethan's dad, it helped out with the whole idea and concept, He came to me and he said, "You're passionate about this, so teach my kid guitar." And I had a bit of doubt in myself. I don't have the qualifications as a guitar teacher officially on paper.
Right.
But I taught myself how to play. And I'm not a bad player. So if I can do that, then I can teach and motivate. And Ethan, he said something very special to me the one day. He said to me that just through you showing me how to hold the pick properly, you changed my entire outlook and the whole way. And I'm practicing a lot more. And I feel so much more committed. And it's small things like that, So this Hammer and Tongs company that's now going, it's very personal to me. So it's not just, I'm going to your house, here's a lesson, do it, and the next week we're going to pick it up or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend time with you. I want to see you grow. I want to see you get to the next level.
Right. Yeah, and that really resonates in a lot of what you believe in. When I interviewed this man the first time, I asked, a question, what really makes a difference to you as a musician, as a busker or whatever. There's many things you can say, but he said it's all about the connection. You could just be playing a set or something like that, as you usually do night after night, but there could be just one person that comes out to you and said, "You know what, I was really having a tough week, but that last song really made my day." And that's what it's all about. That gives us a gratification, the tireless hours, whatever, that one little bit of...
Look, I can tell you a story, right?
Oh, please.
So we were playing at Key 4, and I remember it was one of those days when the band was, not everybody was available. It was a last minute gig. They phoned us and said, "We've got a slot, the one band cancelled, can you guys get together?" And everybody's like, "Nah, man, we can't just, we had plans, it's a Sunday." But eventually everybody's like, "Okay, cool, let's go do this." And we went and we played. And, it's one of those venues, people don't rock out, they don't go ballistic. You're playing background music and people are eating and You know, do you know that vibe?
Oh, I think I actually remember. Yeah, okay, go on.
So we're sitting there and, well, standing on stage when we're performing. And there's this one table in the corner, and there's these four ladies in their 60s, maybe late 50s, you know. Sunday get together, having their gin and tonics, having a great time.
Right.
And they are going crazy. They are cheering, they are cheersing us and just going absolutely mad. So during the one solo, I jump off the stage and I walk towards the table and I just do this little bow down thing, doing this guitar bend. I'm like, guys, thank you so much for being here. Much appreciated. And got back on stage, we finished our set. And one of them walked up to me and she was shaking. I was like, what's going on? So I go to her and I hug her. I say, are you okay? And this woman just grabbed onto me and she just hugged me so passionately.
Embraced you.
She just embraced me, man. And she just burst into tears. And she said, can I please buy you a drink? And I'm like, okay, let's go sit and have a chat. So we're sitting at the bar and she says to me that when she was 22 and 21, she fell in love with a guitarist. And he was her everything.
Right.
The love of her life, her everything. And then he died in a car accident. And this was the first time that she saw a live band and she looked at me play. And she said, I just felt him on stage. I just felt him with me, looking at you playing.
That is heavy.
And she couldn't stop thanking me. And to me, that was the most powerful experience as a musician ever, just to have that. Because she felt like after all these years, she could hug this guy one more time.
Oh,
You know, it
man.
was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, man, it's good that you took to that, because I was going to ask you what is probably one of your most memorable experiences, and I'm glad that one took the floor. That is heavy. To everyone, there's about a dozen or so people watching. If you have any questions for myself or the Blacksmith, please feel free to interact with us. We are watching the interaction as it comes through. Tanya, Renduli?
Hey, Tanya.
Right.
Also all the way from Joburg.
Jason
one
Voss.
One of my oldest friends. What's Jason Voss saying?
Oh, it's Voss. He always says Voss. Because I always think of almost like the Vox.
Oh, yes, of course.
He plays guitar. I was thinking now the Vox amplifier.
You can just call him Jay.
Yeah, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Jason with a Y. Anyway, are you just trying to share? Are you just trying to use our page to get some of your marketing out there? Come on, Jason.
That's my marketing there, man. Thanks, Jason. You're a legend.
Hammer and tongs. That is really cool.
No, it fits in with the old Blacksmith theme, you know. It's
Right.
all about just moving forward.
Let me actually kind of switch it up, because I'm always like the interviewer. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for you?
Yeah.
Listen, tell me. I want to know about Severo Studios. This
Right.
whole concept and why this thing started back in the day.
Right. Okay, so I actually had shared this in a nutshell with Ethan earlier. And I believe it's actually a question that someone else wanted to ask me, who was also actually coming on to interview, but I'll go more in depth probably then, more specifically. But okay, so Severo Music Studios, as I occasionally say sometimes I wouldn't say it's a studio. That is just a musician's playground, a jam room, or some recording facilities, right? However, in 2019, we went official that we are now open to recording and producing, etc. But we actually have been recording things for ages.
Okay.
So back in 2013 is when I was first doing live performances. Now, since 2013, I was putting together annual shows, which are called Music and Motion.
Cool. Nice name.
Right? So it was all kinds of art forms, namely song and dance. Everyone performs music, everyone has that kind of art form, even if someone had some spoken word poetry. But we never had much of that, but it was mainly music and dance. And that went on every year until 2018. 2019 is the year we didn't do it because I was completing the studio. I was dedicating my time to completing the studio. That's what we did.
I just want you guys to know this place has the most amazing energy. I would be here every day if I could.
Yeah, I always feel very fortunate every time I'm just sitting here, lying on my bed, just looking around and thinking I'm very fortunate to have. But at the same time, I work myself to the core trying to
You did an amazing job, man. I can see how passionate you are about this place and everything that you put into it.
I truly am. It's all for the love. It's all still just humble work. But you know, when we were rehearsing for Music and Motion, because I always brought like the best groups I've ever seen or solo acts, and when we were rehearsing in here, I'm thinking, yeah, no, this is really gold. You know, I wish I could really actually like record this, you know, not just on a phone.
Yeah.
So I bought my first sound card. Little 999 rand sound card from ART, not even a nice Alesis or Scarlett or anything like that, or you know, the Focusrite. So I just bought that and I just recorded some things, and I had recorded some demos with saxophone. Please don't find it. I don't think you can still find it. It was really bad back
If you
then.
guys can find it, please send it to me.
Right, and then as we went on further, I'm like, we have a fuller room here, so maybe I can get a mixer. So I bought a bigger mixer which can take in more input, so more people can, you know, we can record more people at one time, or more instruments, whatever, at one time. Then I thought, how can we get the videos in that better? Then I got my first DSLR camera. Then I took a course in photography, and I was always interested in filming and making trailers and little promo vids, and that still kept going. And yeah, that's how it went. But it was in 2019 when I said to like the public, you know, this is we doing producing now. I was always recording, producing is still something that's new to me.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how I started, and that's where we are right
Well, listen,
now.
I've listened to some of your recordings and the tracks that you've done here and produced in this little room that you've got.
Yeah.
And guys, it sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've got a lot of musician friends out there and everything, and I really think that it is worth a try to just come and check it out. Especially if you're a solo artist with acoustic guitar and you need to record a track, this would be the place to do it.
Yeah, please come. Yeah, if you're a solo act, especially, you know, if you're acoustic, whatever, I'm really good at that. I'm much better recordist than a producer. I mean, I'm still in the student phase of producing. I can do it, but I mean, if you need something that, like recorded, you know, I quite specialize in that.
Oh, he's good. And then on top of it as well, you get one of Cape Town's top sax players. Right
No. I'm glad no one on here is, you know, any of my sax peers are actually looking at this, because
they should be.
I tell
Be
you,
afraid.
if any of my like sax peers or whatever, or anyone else that I knew that plays sax says, you come here and say, can you play something for me? I'll tell them, no, I don't play sax.
Really?
Yeah, like someone, there's always a handful of people that tell me that they know Don Vino. Do you know Don Vino Prince?
The name is very familiar to me.
Nah, he's pretty much the guy nowadays,
Okay.
the untouchable, and he also plays alto like myself, and he has this sound that we all know where it's all derived from, or where he took from, and made it his own. So if I were to meet him, and there were a couple of people that are deep in this who know him personally and say, I'm going to introduce you to him since you also play sax. I'm like, nope, if you should come up here, I will deny that I ever play sax. It's like going, say you have a friend and you both played soccer in school, high school, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Years go by, he went on to play like premier stuff, and you're still doing club football.
Okay, look, I just played chess in school, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But that's how it is actually. Let's get Ethan in on this. Ethan, what do we got? Some questions from our viewers there.
Let me have a look. I'm new to this. We've got a comments here. Oh. I'm gonna be honest with you. Kind of don't know how to check comments. Oh, there we go.
Yep, it's further down.
Here we go. Someone, Dan Berman, is asking that, hey, Sunskin, play some tunes, man.
I tell you what, if everyone is maybe available later, we'll go live again with me and Rudy, maybe doing some jams. Maybe. If not, something that will be recorded, and we will probably release it soon.
We also have a hi from Bulgaria.
Uh-huh.
There we
Desi.
go. Hey, Desi. It's been way too long. Thank you so much.
What does Daisy say?
Desi's saying play something, man.
Play
That's-
something,
Yeah, he
please.
said hi from Bulgaria. Love you, Rudy, Dutoy. Surname
Love you
Voss.
too, Desi.
But we actually do have a question here from Jason.
Yes.
Jason Voss. He goes, what was the first song you ever learned to play on guitar?
What's the first song? Was it The Forbidden Riff? Was it Stairway to Heaven?
No.
Yo, should know.
Jason, that would be the Romanza, actually.
Oh, okay.
That was so long ago, man.
Okay. That was the first one.
That was the first song.
First one you learned to play, or the first one you really wanted to play?
No, that was the first one I learned to play on
Okay.
guitar. So for me, this is what a lot of people don't know about me, is that as a guitarist, starting out, I hated cover songs.
Okay.
I've never wanted to learn anybody's music.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it's you created it, it's sacred. And I know you learn a lot from playing other people's music, obviously.
Yes.
But I wanted to learn all the techniques, and I wanted to learn the scales, the chords, the different hammer-on techniques, and bending of strings, and how to make a guitar scream. And then I wanted to incorporate it all into my own knowledge and create something from that. Because I remember I met a guy in college that studied music, and all he did was play Nirvana songs all day, every day on guitar. And he did it extremely well. The thing was, when it came to him writing songs,
Right.
that it sounded like a Nirvana song.
Right.
There was nothing original about it, and I was so scared of that.
Right.
So only a few years ago, when we started playing with the guys alive, when we started the band, I started opening myself up to that idea, and I did learn a lot. And I'm not saying that this was the right way for me to go about it, but I'm very happy I did, because that gave me the opportunity to develop my own style and develop my own thing, and then incorporate that into the cover songs to make it my own and not make it sound exactly like the artist.
That's true. That is a very interesting perspective. Well, let me ask you though, what is your view on Nirvana?
Then I love Nirvana.
Love Nirvana.
Kurt Cobain is actually, except that he was probably one of the hottest guys back in
Of the age,
the age, Every
Yeah.
single girlfriend I've ever had in my life were like,
Would have a crush on him, yeah.
Kurt Cobain's the guy.
Yeah. One on everyone's list.
That's it. I know the guy practiced for years, and he was
Okay.
a very dedicated musician.
You're right. Now Nirvana, I feel they're a great group. No one doesn't know about them, or their symbol, that smiley face thing, However, I believe they are more notorious than they are famous.
Yeah.
They were famous for not great reasons.
Yeah, no, definitely.
They are one of the most, the biggest bands of the age, but also, I mean, the stuff that they released were next level. But so for us rock aficionados like yourself, we also know that Nirvana was also notorious meaning famous for not the great reasons, that they were not excellent performers.
Look, they rocked out.
They rocked
It was
out,
crazy.
but Kurt Cobain was also known for one of the worst solos. If you Google, or YouTube worst solos in history, Kurt Cobain will be up there somewhere.
I'm not going to talk about that. But it's not a lie.
That's not a lie. Don't worry, the one that's even worse than that, I feel Lil Wayne when he tried to do that solo. I mean, we all know Lil Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Now, I can...
I already know where you're going.
I know, you know where I'm going. Is that, I mean, I'm not a fan. Let me just say that politely. I'm not a fan. And but I can't deny what he has done in the industry.
Yeah, no, true.
But my feeling is when he somehow, or someone pitched the idea for him to kind of switch to a rock sound, I wasn't sure about it. And I'm not sure who taught him guitar. In those music videos that he did, where it looked like he was playing guitar,
Yeah.
it was, let's just say, not great. And when we saw him do some sort of guitar solo live, I'm sure he probably had a teacher that told him, look, the song is in this key and you can get away with
Just do that.
just doing these two little things here,
That's
which even with that he did a terrible job about.
Now, that's what I'm teaching Ethan next.
How to solo just two notes. Okay, and by the way, just some of the comments that I saw a little further back is Jason Voss said, grow the hair back, we miss it.
Oh, thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. Oh, wait, there's another one.
Now, Miss Alperez Dutoy says, stop blowing your own horn. You're better at playing guitar. Any music on the horizon? Any new music on the horizon?
Well, okay, the Guys Alive project band went through many phases and many changes. Obviously, with Ricardo, he was our first bassist very good friend, brother to all of us.
Right.
I miss this guy, right? But he had to move to Malta. Then Vinny the drummer needed to move on. His career started in the film industry. And then we got Charlie and Milky involved, drum and bass. And the whole sound changed and the dynamic changed a bit. And then Alana moved on as well because, you know, she's an exceptionally talented artist and needed to move on and do her thing and focus on her. And I know you've been following her and you've been seeing that
I've been following a lot of people that I've grown to know personally. She's
doing very well. So then we got Flavia involved, who's amazing vocalist. But she also had to move back to Italy. And then because of work reasons, I had to quit the band for a bit. And
so what's new on the horizon?
New on the horizon. Sorry, man, I'm drifting to Old Guys Alive.
It's called off key, so we go off key. That's fine.
Okay, see, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing it on purpose. So new on the horizon is myself and Jason are still going at it. We've got Vinny back as a drummer, and we've got a girl called Erika Steenkamp, classically trained vocalist and violinist. And we have been rehearsing. We've played 2 gigs in the meantime, very small, low-key things. And we're just trying to get a proper set list together, and then we're going to push that out there. It's mostly cover songs, 1 or 2 originals, but we're going to keep it cover, more upmarket. It's more for the higher-end venues.
Right. No, I totally understand the decision that... Now, let me ask a question. A classically trained voice... How did she feel joining a thing like this? Is just something that she can't help but love? Because how did you get someone that's classically trained to do something like this?
We met her and invited her to just come and have a jam session. And like her voice has ranges, man. So she can...
Classically trained,
She can sing a classical Italian song flawlessly with operatic notes and everything.
Right.
Or she can sing a rock grunge song perfectly.
Exactly. Now,
so,
not a lot of classically trained people, you know, tend to be that way, because being classically trained is not so much of just a music thing. It's kind of a discipline, so they kind of stick to it and they more loyal to it. So that's why I was just curious as to...
That's very true, but she's a crazy girl from Belleville side, you know,
right.
so Afrikaans crazy chick from Belleville, so...
Okay,
so just sorry to cut in, guys. We actually, a few of the questions we have here actually tie a little bit into what you guys were talking about.
It's from Dan Berman.
Yeah, boy. He says, have you written and co-written many songs? What is your personal favorite?
So Dan, we hear you. So it says, have you written or co-written any songs? What is your personal favorite? Guys Alive, here we go.
Guys Alive stuff. Look, I would say one of my favorite co-written songs ever would be actually a Join the Blacksmith song, to be dead honest. Called Bad Omen. That was a beautiful little project that we started, and I had a lot of fun working on this project and recording the first demo of that song. The Guys Alive songs, oh damn, there's so many. But I think one of the biggest hits would be Kings and Queens. I'm very proud of Jason for writing that song and coming up with it. It just has so much potential.
Can people find that anywhere?
Look, there's a lot of videos, cell phone video clips and stuff like that, but we've never had the opportunity to actually just walk into a studio and record.
So Facebook, YouTube, they can probably find it somewhere?
They can find it there, yeah.
Alright, Al Perez came back and says, Severo, loving this. Can't wait to see you playing some sax. Duet in the making? Actually, you know, when they were here the first time, and I actually just noticed something, that the last time they were here, I was actually wearing this exact same shirt.
I thought that looked familiar.
Duet in the making, that is possible, because actually this guy for years has actually been poking at me, wanting to do something with me, or wanting his band to come here and do something with me somehow associated with it. So we never know what the future may hold. We actually just opened the door, reuniting today after about 3 years. So you never know. We are definitely both still keen.
Look, we are definitely going to have a jam session after this whole thing and see what we can come up with, and we'll take it from there.
Mr. Colin David Krill, question to the Blacksmith. When is the Afrikaans treffer?
Oh, man. Yeah, look,
Good
so,
question.
look, let me tell you something. I always said that if I don't make it in the industry as a guitarist or anything, I'm going to take all of Chris de Burgh's songs
Dennis Baller.
and I'm going to cover it all in Afrikaans and I'm going to call myself Chris van Boksburg.
Okay. That's the way other Afrikaner, for people that don't know, even to this day, the best selling music still today in South Africa is still the Afrikaans hits.
That's true. That's the
I'm still not sure, even as a musician, who buys it or how it sells that well, but it just remains a fact. It still is the biggest genre in this country.
They support each other so much. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what kept music afloat for so many years.
Yes.
Until they closed down recently, you know.
Mr. Gordon Wright, he says, just Rudy enjoying. Gordon asks, where's your guitar? Right next to him, if you just notice, right next to his
It's
foot.
right here, guys.
We are
Yes.
almost set up, and we're definitely going to have a jam after this. Alice Mustard, Rudy, lol.
Alice, who is Alice? So, quick story about Alice, right?
Mm-hmm.
She hated me in high school.
Ooh.
She used to walk into class and I would be the one standing up screaming, Alice, Alice, who the, it's Alice. And she busted me for bunking class the one day.
Ooh.
She went to the teacher
She
and dropped
went
my
there.
name. She got me nailed for that one.
Oh, man.
No, I was so angry. But I still love it 2 bits.
People are saying play some. Okay, I think the people are really itching to maybe hear us play. So, ladies and gentlemen, after this podcast, if you stay in tune with Severe Music Studios on this page, just maybe we will go live. But again, if we don't go live, we are definitely recording just a little jam session tonight and it will be available. So please follow Severe Music Studios on Facebook and YouTube. I promise the material is endless.
Always.
We do. This is just one little segment that I thought of. This is only episode 3, and I am enjoying it so far. I mean, I always wish that myself and the Blacksmith had more time to just have the conversation of our craft.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, I just want to thank all of you guys for tuning in and sitting here with us. I hope you guys have a drink in your hand. We're having apple juice, but cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
It's such a pleasure to have all of you. This is my biggest thing in my life, is that I've got such a big support structure. So many good friends, my family. I've got the most amazing girlfriend in my life as well, that's just been helping me and supporting me, and she always motivates me to just keep going.
Right.
Even when I said, I think I'm done with the music thing, she's like, you can never be done with the music thing, it's who you are. So I'm like, okay.
Now that's actually also an interesting question, that how do us musicians, keep going when we are sometimes extremely demotivated, and it often takes not just our own passion, but it always takes someone else to see what we don't have, to see what we do have, to see what we do have. I mean, people say I'm an extremely modest guy and I always downplay myself, and I feel a lot of times where I do feel not very motivated, there are always people who are reminding me of certain things that I'm not aware of, that just gives me, I can have 1,000 reasons why I shouldn't keep going, but for another person just give me one reason that I was unaware of is enough for me.
Exactly. Look, it gets hard sometimes, man. It's, you go to a gig and you watch an 18-year-old kid jump on that stage and he starts shredding away like a maniac, and you're like, wow, okay, why am I even trying?
Yes,
it's
yes,
like,
yeah.
Okay, I'm done. But then that same kid would walk up to you. There was a guy called Heinrich Smith, and he called himself Heinrich the guitarist. I met him when I was like 18 years old at Ellington's in Belleville. This kid set that stage on fire, man. He's amazing. But he's the guy that walked up to me and said to me, dude, I love your playing, your sound, your technique, everything. It was great. And I was like, coming from you, I'm like, okay, thanks. Can I buy you a beer? you know? But it's that kind of motivation. I just wish more people would go out and actually support local music and support original music. Because I'm so tired of going to a venue and it's just cover after cover after cover after cover.
It is true. Now, people just understand that, covers are requested a lot. We always are happy to do requests. But more than anything, especially here in South Africa, we just want to be taken seriously as musicians. And for musicians that don't push themselves to try and not it's not always about writing original songs, but it's about being original, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When people see the sax, what is the one name that always comes up when they see a sax?
Suicide?
No. One person, an artist. Come on, the sax player.
Okay, if I've got to think of sax.
Kenny G. Everyone always
there we
says.
go. Yeah, okay, of course.
Everyone says Kenny G. Play Kenny G. I'm like, ugh.
I forgot about Kenny G. I'm sorry, man.
So did I. Don't worry, and so did everyone. If you haven't had a song in over 10 years and you bring out the best of Kenny G, doesn't count as an album. But hey, I'm not dissing the guy. I have every single Kenny G album there is.
No, of course you
Every sax player has to have.
You can probably play most of the songs as well.
Now, you see, the thing is, I only play a little handful, right? But the thing is, I came up with my own concept. Now, you saw how I sometimes incorporate my dancing and playing pop songs and things like that. People have never seen that on the sax.
Do you dance?
I try to.
Like I always say, I make the thing that people dance to, but I cannot dance to save my life.
Now, this may be kind of interesting, but I mean, in high school, I took dancing very seriously, right? I took dancing very seriously. I was like a hip hop dancer and all that. I was in groups, and I was getting a lot of compliments from it. I had so many influences. I would just watch video after video of other groups and things like that, stealing moves, incorporating. And I thought, I could go somewhere with it, but I didn't know how or anything like that. Right? So, I guess there is no point to the story, but I took dance for a long time. I actually took dancing a bit more seriously than I did with my music.
Nice. No, look, I respect it. I love dancing. I love professional dancers. I take my hat off to them. I had 3 girlfriends that tried to take me for dancing lessons.
Oh, man.
And that's where the relationships ended after that. So it was like, okay, cool.
Oh, frick. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to end in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So if you've got any more questions that you'd like us to answer, we're happy to do that. Now, from Janine Kinsley.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Janine.
Asked, how did your band cope during lockdown?
We didn't really. Look, for me, lockdown was a very sad thing because you're seeing all these music venues closing down one after the other. Last week, this week, Thursday, Kill City Blues, done.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Kill City Blues.
No.
Sadly, it was just the most awesome space where bands went to rehearse. So you booked a room, but it had full recording
Booths.
booths and everything as well. They had a bar area so you could sit and drink and have a great time. They would organize the biggest jam sessions.
Kind of like Soviet music studios, all their characteristics. There's a bar,
Exactly.
everything. Anyway, yep.
This is a lot cooler, I'm just saying, just in case anybody's listening. So they shut down. Some of the main venues that the guys alive played at, Alana Joy, Joy and the Blacksmith played at, they shut down, one after the other. So that's very hard to see. And it's also hard to see the musicians that didn't have a normal day job.
Right.
Selling the equipment for next to nothing just to try and make ends meet. And the band itself, luckily we were still in our starting phases.
Right.
We all had a job to do. I was playing guitar to the neighbors in the block of flats.
Right.
Every night at 8 o'clock my amp would come out and I would just play
That
something
is
out to the
awesome.
entire neighborhood.
I did something similar. I
Nice.
love that.
No, that was magic. So that was cool. But Jason and I kept playing and doing our thing. And so Rudy jammed on the balcony in Sea Point. Yeah, that's it. That's what I did.
Sea Point. I also jammed. I put both my speakers outside, and the whole of my road in the retreat. within about 50 or so meters could hear. But I'm planning to do something like that again. It was really enjoyable. I thought, I was one of, not one of the first, but I thought now it was an excellent idea to do something like that. Put my PA equipment outside, and to anyone who would want to listen.
There we go.
But then I saw a post from a guy that I follow. His name is Matthew O'Connell.
Okay.
Was known as Mock, but M-O-C, like Matthew O'Connell. But now he changed his stage name or something to Chalky Chocks. I don't know why. He still hasn't actually answered that question when I asked him to him.
You're gonna have to ask him again.
But he had the exact same idea. He put his PA system and sax. He also plays sax and he's a vocalist. He put it on his balcony, and he played the national anthem.
Nice.
And you just heard, and his balcony still has a lot of grassland before it actually reaches the road.
And he just...
Right? And it projected, and when he was done, the people applauded, and I'm thinking, man, I had that idea now. I thought it was fresh.
Well, that's how I got inspired. There was a guy in a block of flats just opposite us, and he would come out every night. And the first night he did the national anthem.
Right.
But his voice was magic. It's pure magic. And we stood there and we listened to this, and every night it became a thing. And it was even, I think it was Hot FM or something that picked it up, and they posted a video of this guy singing on his balcony during lockdown. And then one night I was like, I'm just going to plug in my guitar and do it as well. And played some guitar. And then my cable bombed out, and obviously during lockdown you couldn't get cables. So there was no more jamming. But the coolest thing was when this guy came out on the opposite block with his big poster saying, dude, please play some electric. And I was like, play some guitar. And I was standing there, I was like, thanks, man. I can't.
Yeah. Oh, man, that sucks so bad. Oh, hello. It says here from Gordon, right? I have a short video. Gordon, are you talking about the Blacksmith actually playing on the balcony in Sea Point? We would love to see it. Please share it on the Severo Music Studios page, or you can inbox me on Severo Music Studios or Instagram Severo_Music Studios. We would love to see it.
I might have been a little bit intoxicated in that one, but okay.
Oh my word! No, then we would really have to.
Love you, Gordon. Thanks, man.
It just says Rudy again.
And I see Tanya is saying they keep sharing your light. Hey, Tanya, the light's been switched off a long time ago.
Oh, don't be so negative, man. We thank ESCOM for that. Thanks, ESCOM, through everything else you telling us about the generators, not whatever. Just keep it on. Anyway,
you saw that South Africa's greatest export after Charlize Theron is the load shedding that's happening in Texas at the moment, right?
Hey, look, it's got so popular that even a long time ago when it first started, even before lockdown, that I actually still call having a number 2 load shedding.
Oh, there we go.
That's my version of load shedding right there.
Definitely, 100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost an hour in. This is usually just a 40-45 minute show, but we will keep going if people are in demand. There are still quite a few people viewing the show. So we are about to close in the next few minutes. So again, if you have any last minute questions, we are happy to answer them.
Now I'll answer everything very truthfully, I promise.
Yeah, he's done that so far. Nope. No, so far as I can tell, he has been very truthful in everything.
Xavier, I just want to thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. It really means a lot. It's great to catch up. It's so good to see you again. One of the coolest stage experiences I've ever had was jamming out on a guitar versus sax battle.
Oh, that's a little subject we can talk about, is that I was privileged enough. We've been talking all night about The Guy Is Alive, and I actually had, if you go onto Severo Music Studios, the YouTube channel, and I think maybe it's episode 15 or around about there. It's an out and about episode. Just find The Guy Is Alive is actually where I actually get to feature in one of their songs, which is a classic rock song.
House of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising Sun. And when Join the Blacksmith were here. We were like rehearsing that song, and he says, "Listen, we're gonna play that song at the House of Machines. You got to come play with us."
Yeah, that was Alana's farewell gig.
That was Alana's farewell gig, and I actually went out of the premise that I actually couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And when I turned up, you had to see the look on this guy's face. Nearly dropped his beer. Like,
I was so upset, man. It's not right. You can't tell me you can't make it, and that was, it was a very emotional night already on top of everything else. But yeah.
Right.
But that was one of the greatest live stage things. It was just such a cool jam session, guitar versus sax, and jam together. I'll post that video on my Facebook page as well, so that these guys can take a look.
Find it. It's not the full video, but I mean a good portion of it is there, and I felt that was really, like, really, if I can use the word lit. I mean,
yeah, that's a good word to
use. I mean, I came with a solo. You gave me the honor of going first, and I'm like, okay, let's go. I mean, we've been rehearsing this quite a bit, and I was happy that it was actually being played a little faster, and I tried to emulate, because I was watching back the video of what we did, the rehearsal before that, and I tried to emulate the kind of electric guitar sound, because at certain tones, whatever, the sax and the guitar and violin can actually sound kind of similar in certain areas.
You guys must see this guy play, man. It's inspiring.
Again,
it ignites the fire in your soul. That's just, yeah.
Yeah. So we were battling about 4 or 8 bars, just back and forth. And eventually the band was looking at us like, okay, where's this going?
We're like,
it's almost like, and I remember we almost kind of ended the song before they just took they just came back in with the head of the song and ended it off.
Got a band for we're stopping now, and we just kept on playing, so they had to pick it up again. We're like, thanks.
No, that was, and it was...
Alana used to get very angry at me for that, by the way, because I used to do that a lot with the Join the Blacksmith gigs.
Well, I think that's a pet peeve with actually a lot of bands, that there's always one overly enthusiastic guy who has to do like a freaking 15-minute solo or something like that. I mean, what was Phil Collins' band again? Genesis. They were, I mean, they are notorious also for that. The endless solos on the keyboards, and then the drums, and the bassist, and they all just go on and on. But I'm sure it's not that bad. But I understand.
It's just that moment, that rush, man.
There's always that one guy.
Join the Blacksmith with this one gig as well. Also a small little venue that closed down.
Mm-hmm.
And No Syntax was playing. So he jumped on board as well, and we did the same song, and we did the same thing. And it turned out to be like a 15-minute guitar versus guitar battle.
Right.
And it was pretty epic. And then eventually Ron was like, okay, I'm tired of strumming the same chords now, can we stop? And I'm like, okay, let's end it.
Right. Yeah. We all had those experiences in bands.
There we go, Jason, look at that. I was
going to say, Jason. He actually posted it. Bless you, man. Thank you for actually looking that up.
What a legend.
Al Perez, she says, curfew is looming, going to be in time for last rounds at the bar.
You see, these guys are very bad influences on me, I'll see what I can do, but I'm definitely going to have a bit of a jam session here with Sevi right now and take it a bit further.
Colin says, Rudy has increased my music knowledge tenfold with his recommendations. Love you, buddy.
Oh man, I love you too, man. And you've done the same for me. I love the fact that you and I can phone each other and speak for like an hour and a half about everything. Man, I'm so excited for a Mortal Kombat movie coming out.
Everyone is buzzing about it. I mean, we've all seen the original Mortal Kombat. For kids of the 90s, thank you. Or the 80s, you would have a better understanding then. But I mean, Mortal Kombat was awesome.
The games, man,
And the game, I still had it all. I thought that the guy Robin Shu, who plays Liu Kang, was like the coolest dude ever. I mean, his physique, his hair, his just look. He was also in Beverly Hills Ninja, and he made his comic characters also so cool. I just wanted to be him.
He was perfect for the role, man. He was absolutely perfect.
I thought he was like the perfect human being at the time. Like when I first saw Cameron Diaz in The Mask.
Oh yes.
When I was only like 6 years old, but
that red
I mean, yes, exactly. I was only 6 years old, not knowing what attractiveness or woman, that kind of concept. But I thought now, when you think about pretty, this is the standard.
No, when Cameron Diaz walked into that scene,
yes,
that was
laced up her.
For most guys, especially my age as well, I was a teenager, I think back then.
Yeah.
Man,
and she
I'm old.
looked up, flipped her blonde hair.
I
oh,
just looked at her and I was like, what
I'm
is
in
this?
love. I can't help it.
What is this? What am I feeling everywhere?
Yes, this is not right. Okay, we're about to close off. But Jason, see if you, when you're coming to jam with Guys Alive again. Oh man.
That's an official invite from the founding member.
Oh, you know, Jason, you were also a very welcoming a person when I was there that night, and I would be honored. She said, "Be quiet, my friend. I'm here till the end." Ah man, I always remember that. I would be honored.
That song could do with a nice little sax solo in there, I think.
We'll see, but I just say I'll be honored. As you can see, I'm kind of speechless right now. To be
You're so humble.
no, to be asked by a group that I watch, you know, all the time in that, and that I've seen perform in that.
No, you in, man. I want you back on that stage with me.
That'll be awesome. Andrew Green, well done, Rudy. Toy, proud of you. Keep on keeping on.
Hey, Andrew, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Oh, that's awesome.
I gotta thank actually everyone for tuning in and just observing us talk a little rubbish for roughly an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
But guys, please, like Severo's page, share it, look after this guy because he looks after everybody else. He's done so much in the community for musicians. I am absolutely honored and so proud to know him and to be able to call him a friend.
Oh, but I could say like the same about you. I mean, like I say, you were the first people that I met that with my out and about. The first time I actually went out to try and meet other musicians instead of just going to events myself, just going out and trying to meet people, and for us to know each other roughly 4 or 5 years.
That's
still,
easily 5 years now.
5 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are aging together.
Yeah, we are. I mean,
Oh man.
grey beard, hair's going grey on your
Yeah.
side, you know. But it's fine. I'm looking forward to being in our 60s, 70s.
I'd love that too,
You know,
man.
sitting on wheelchairs, you with the sax, me with the guitar,
Yeah.
looking at each other like, you remember that old lady that we used to see there at the bar?
Yeah. We can already have vivid memories right now, looking to the future, looking back. But again, I'm always just honored whenever I'm just in contact with this guy, because he's also just like the most humble and nice guy you'll ever meet. And
Now you're making me blush.
yeah, and for us to be reunited now after chatting for so long but never saw each other in about 3 years is really something else. And we are going to sign off now because we didn't have too much time to acclimate ourselves before this live stream happened. So we're going to take the rest of the night before the curfew to try and just get in some good times in a jam session. So to everyone that's watching right now, let me just say thank you one more time to our sponsor, Chapter 1 Radio. You can catch this interview if you haven't already heard it or seen it right now. You can catch it the audio on Chapter 1 Radio. If not, then you can also check this episode on Severo Music Studios, the YouTube channel. I will be posting that in probably a week's time or so as well.
Awesome.
But until then, the Blacksmith, it's been an absolute honor finally having this chat that we've been wanting for so long.
Thank you.
All of our conversation always goes in drips and drabs, but I mean, now finally.
It just flows, and
Thank you very much. And once again to everyone else watching, I'm Severo from Severo Music Studios. You have been watching the Off Key Podcast, episode 3, here talking with the Blacksmith. So everyone, please stay in good health. Take care of each other. God bless. As we say right here, one rhythm, one life. Thank you very much.
lots of love to all of you. Thank you, guys.